Welcome back to my channel, everyone. I thought maybe today you'd like to go on a little walk with us. We have a really cute little neighborhood. People have lots of different plants and things in front of their homes, and there's a lot of cute stuff you can see on my streets, so I thought it would be really fun to take you along for the ride. You can see it's such a lovely sunny day. I'm trying to show off the lighting. It's one of my favorite times of day to go for a walk. You can see the little pride flag on that car. I love the roses in this tree and how those fallen flowers look. I remember walking this day and looking off at those houses on the left, just thinking how lovely the sunlight made them look. Kind of like a painting, the way there's contrasts of light. It's super sunny today. I mean, it hasn't been terribly gloomy, but we're really kind of starting to get over the coldness of winter here. We don't get it too bad here anyway. But this was a perfect day to go walking. I like to do a walk through the neighborhood pretty often. And I love to examine the lovely flowers of my neighbors. I don't know what kind of flower this is, but if you know the flower, let me know. I'd love to know. Continuing our saunter down the street. I thought the light looked lovely coming through that big tree. There's so many different big trees here. So many plants that have been growing for a very long time. Perhaps were planted by the people who first lived in this neighborhood in the early 1900s, but maybe not those plants I just showed. Maybe that tree though. Or that one. The trees are just really lovely. Their branches just expand so much. It's kind of magnificent. And the sunlight looks so interesting shining through them. There's my roommate. Here's this little church nearby us, but we don't really go to church, but the sign is cute. This neighbor keeps a very nice mini garden out front, and sometimes we see her gardening. But besides whatever, greens she's growing to eat, there's this cute little setup with all these different trinkets that get changed around often. You can see there's a Chipette and Olaf and lots of other little goodies. That's fun to come see what this looks like and how it's changed. A lot of times it stays the same, but it's interesting to see what new accessories have been added to the lovely mini garden. Another thing in my neighborhood is people just leave their furniture everywhere, or any items that they want to get rid of. They leave it on the street for free. But I don't really mind this. As you can see, we came across a bunch of records. My roommate has a record player, so they were looking through them a little bit, but we ended up not taking any. I'm trying to show you I'm there with my little foot, but I'm there. We just looked through these, and they told me there was one with a cow on it. And I said, I need to see it. Grease Lightning record. But cows are my favorite animals, so it was definitely worth. This little fence with all this like tree stuff in it is cute. And this was also right next to those cabinets and the records. They have magazines, a conveniently small shoe to get out of the way. Not sure what that scruffy book is, but I had to look through the little stack. You can tell from this little stack that we're in the bay, but we ended up not taking any of those books. I did, however, need to see this puzzle, and I did take that puzzle. There's across the street, and more lovely little plants on our right. Not sure, is that bamboo or what is that? I should have taken a good look at that one, huh? As we continue down the street, though, up on our left, there's this thing called the Zen Center. I'm still not really sure if it's a temple, but you can see she was lovely sitting in there, and it's a cute little building. It's been relatively quiet. That was us getting off the street because there was someone that we didn't see. And there's a little Buddha statue next around the corner. Now we're gonna get a little deeper into the neighborhood. And here's where I'm gonna start trying to subtly peek at people's lawns and gardens. My favorite thing to do when I go on walks is to just look at people's houses and look at their gardens and just admire and imagine what it'll be like one day when I have my own space like that. And we're really lucky to live so close to so many lovely sights, but we still do live in an apartment. We just happen to be in a neighborhood full of interesting homes. Most of these homes are very, very full here because, frankly, there's not a lot of housing. But we don't really need to get into that. That's kind of depressing. But because there's a lot of people in the homes, they're very quirky, a lot of different personalities coming through, a lot of interesting people in the neighborhood. I'm trying to show you that lovely yellow of that tree. The sun shining through, creating that bright yellow color. Now, when we were trying to decide where to walk for this video, we know of a particular street where we previously saw a cat. Just so you don't get your hopes up, I'll let you know the cat was not there, but we were currently on a mission in this moment to find that cat. And I thought those little plants were cute. But there's also this big tree right here on the left that I'm going to show you in a moment, but in the meantime, I was just examining these yards. Look how cute that house is. So sunny. So lovely, the lemon tree. Oh, just lovely. Maybe I'm not going to show you that tree. I think I'm going to show you another tree. Here I am getting yard envy. And up here, there's this little stand that someone made. It looks really official to sell. I don't know what. I've never seen anybody out there, but I'm not sure if it's a child that made that or Who knows? Here you can see more yards. This is the tree. Look at that massive tree. How long has that been there? These are the questions that go through my mind. I really like these houses up on the right. And this house ahead is pink, so I had to make sure I got a good view of that. But also I had to make sure that the people inside didn't know I was filming their cute pink house. We're coming up on the house that's supposed to have a cat. I'm not too bitter now that we have our own cat, but we ended up turning the corner because the cat was not out. So we're just making our way back around and through. The streets in our neighborhood are really interesting. There's lots of streets that just end, and there's lots of one-ways, so it's the type of neighborhood where if you don't have a car and you're used to walking or even biking, I guess biking not so much, but if you're used to walking, it's hard to give car directions because there's so many one-ways that it's easy to forget. Anyway, just continuing to take you through my little neighborhood. I love the way the trees line the sidewalk sometimes and make it like a little archway almost. Not quite, but almost. Our neighborhood definitely looks very fall still. Well, not very fall. If you're from a place with real weather, you probably can't identify the season. But where I'm from, this is pretty fall. And the fact that it's January, that's pretty on par. I think winter isn't super real here. But I'm kind of grateful for that. I don't think I would know how to deal with the snow. And I really like that I can just walk through the neighborhood comfortably like this most of the time, I would say. And I can show all the houses. Ugh, I love the colors of those leaves. This greenery. Here we're kind of coming around the block again, so I'm showing you the other side of a street that we were actually on before. But not that you would know that. Looks like I'm gonna crash into trees or something, but I'm just taking you. You might recognize that house up there from earlier. Here I am trying to show you our neighbor's rainbow flag. Have a lot of stuff like that out here. A little picture frame on the side of the street. Lots of cute pride flags and things. I always try to find them when I'm on my walks, but they usually just come to me. Lots of cool art like this, just on the road. We're getting deeper and deeper in. But slowly we're gonna make our way towards more fun I find this walk just so relaxing, just so grounding. These people over here have redone this yard recently. That's why it's so put together. They've got lots of drought-resistant plants. Really nice. More plants. I love when things just hang over and into the sidewalk. I'm trying to show you some French lavender there, but this is one of my favorite yards to peek into. There's kids out front sometimes, so I was trying to make sure no one was nearby. But it's like a little fairy garden in there almost. I'm jealous. Somehow I reorganized these clips to where we're finding this picture frame later, but you get the gist. I wonder if throughout this video you can see the shadows change at all. We weren't out for very long, but I love to watch the lighting change throughout the day. That yellow house on the right is very cute to me. And whenever I see a bed of leaves like that, I just want to jump in. There's so many unique houses here to look at. But we're slowly but surely making our way towards my favorite part of the neighborhood, which is close to a school, so I'm not gonna get that school in the shot when we get up there. But we get to see some of our neighbors' gardens on the way. Some of the best gardens. There's two really good gardens near us, and I always look at them whenever I go for a walk over there. But we're getting there. Don't get me wrong, I love all the yards we've seen so far, but I really just envy people who have gardens where they're growing a bunch of food. I'm so jealous. So this is the first one. In my opinion, trucks shouldn't drive by when I record, but in my opinion, that garden is in competition with this garden that's about a block away. We're passing the school now. There were some kids playing on the playground in there, so I didn't want to show that, but it's a super cute school. This is the garden that they are in competition with. Look at this garden. They're planting stuff on the side of the sidewalk. All of that stuff, there's tomato vines. I'm pretty sure this is maintained by a bunch of people who live in the house and they like work on this together, but it's so fruitful and I want that, and I'm forever gonna be jealous, but maybe I'll be less bitter whenever I have a garden of my own. Does anyone know the name of the plant on our left? The kind of like leaves that grow on the wall like that, because I love it. But I always forget what that's called. You can see the hills off in the distance there. It's a very cute ornaments in these people's trees. I think they've just left it there from Christmas decor, but a lot of people's Christmas decor is still out, so I get it. And honestly, it's a lot of work to put all that stuff up, and it looks really nice, so I've never been one to take down decorations too quickly. I love those little flowers. Here's where my roommate and I try to be funny while we're crossing the street. It's times like these where I wonder if we get watched in public. More like I know we get watched in public, you know. I'm sorry if you can hear my fridge turn on, but we saw this cute little puppy, but it didn't really stay with us because there were people in the yard with it. Here's a better view of French lavender. It smells so good, and there's a ton of it in my neighborhood. And someone's hat on the compost bin. The duality of nature. I don't really know if that hat counted as nature. You can see there's been a lot of people out in this video, and my neighborhood stays pretty active. Like I said earlier, you know, a lot of people live here, and I think a lot of people like to be able to go for walks here. There's families here, but there's also young adults and just a lot of very active people. There's always people running and walking and playing and making noise, but it's okay. The noise thing is only bad if I'm recording in the house. But we make it happen. This house right here looks like it belongs in Mamma Mia. And so on this walk, my roommate started playing the Mamma Mia soundtrack. Another thing that we're still doing in our neighborhood is treating walks like an obstacle course. Because Rona is still real. We don't have the vaccine. And everyone wears masks. See? But we try to stay aware of the people in the road, so we're not walking super close to people. And some people don't care anymore. Most people do, I would say here. I hope so. Care enough to try. I love that view down the road of the trees lining the street like that. But I also love this house, actually. This house also has a really interesting front garden. Lots of different things in their garden, and they have an archway that I'm going to show you now. And then they have all this bamboo, and they have wind chimes that are really nice on a quiet, windy day. We're getting closer and closer to the end of our little neighborhood jaunt. But all the houses here are so cute. That greenhouse, just such unique choices. And I really like that nothing is quite the same here. I think having all these plants and things in my neighborhood, it's not something I had in the neighborhood I grew up in the same way. It's really visually pleasing, but my phone started going off. But I just love living somewhere where I get to see all this stuff all the time, and it's really relaxing for me to see plants rather than a building. I don't know if that makes any sense, but maybe some of you get me, where environment really can change everything. I mean, no neighborhood is perfect, but I'm grateful to be living here now. I'm grateful to have access to a safe area that I can publicly be in and just exist and comfortably walk through when I would like to do so. There's me trying to identify if that's a eucalyptus tree, but I'm pretty sure it is. The one bad thing right now, as you can kind of see on the left, or with this truck too, is there's a lot of construction still. Oh, these people left their cute little pumpkins out. We have a lot of construction in our neighborhood making noise, but that's really the only negative thing I can say that affects me on the daily. Besides that, I get to see cute orange flowers like that, and now that we're getting towards the end of the walk, I just want to thank you for coming with me and checking out the neighborhood with me. I'm sure I can do something like this again, walk more places. It was really fun to film this. I think my neighborhood is so beautiful, and it was lovely to be able to capture it on camera. And I love the cute little crows. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.